usual, and I'm like, Pod Sniper, and then suddenly, suddenly across the entire, I was like, Pod Sniper? So I apologize. I actually, I outed
okay,
myself.
Robson. It's not on you.
I'm sorry, Cap.
It's okay. You were just giving them information.
I was
it's
excited.
How they chose to use that information.
That's true, but that's the beauty of like these group stage, right? There's so much Dota going on, and everyone at home, you can get 2 Twitch streams open on one screen. It's not like you have to only watch one. It's easy.
Yeah.
But you have our
Absolutely.
audio, thanks.
Yes, exactly. And Liquid versus LGD is a hype matchup as well, so it's got an interesting draft with that. I've been loving watching LGD play recently. They actually did the Faith Beyond Undying.
Oh yeah,
I love it when people are bringing back that core Undying, man. It's there.
Dude,
it's there.
meaty.
It's been buffed enough. It's legit. I can promise. The shard is really good too.
Yeah, I'm going to pull a Carl here. I'm going to say a random person's name and say I was talking to him earlier, and then say something, all right? Just to prepare you.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Cinderin earlier about how,
Cinderin.
Cinderin, I don't want to name drop or anything, but like this Undying, it was an unranked strategy. You've obviously played some European unranked, it's 7 to low 8K average in some games. Undying was a core for about 2-3 weeks, maybe a month ago. So it's happy, and mid Kotal as well, big in the unranked about a month ago. So happy to see obviously the pros dipping down not only to pubs but even to unranked pubs for some of their strategies. Really exciting stuff.
And into Arkosh games as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Much as, I know Effie doesn't want to actually give credit where credit is
Which
due.
is
I'm not sure
upsetting.
why she brought up Jenkins. That was kind of weird.
But it is Arkosh's strat.
I know he plays that in unranked games and stuff. But just because it happens unranked, you should give credit to the professional matches where it happens.
And that's, of course, is Arkosh, to be very clear. And that's why you shouldn't watch the other stream, because they are stealing from Arkosh, a top NA team that nearly made it to TI.
I also just played the off-lane Undying. I just played it the other day with AEY.
Yep.
And
again, name dropping.
I'm sorry, I'm doing the same thing.
No,
I was playing with AEY the other day. And,
you played a lot of Dota recently, right, Cap? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, our top lane matchup, we've got a Sand King Mirana combo. It's a killer combo for sure, versus Bane and Sven. So this matchup could be really interesting to see if we actually ever get a Nightmare to dodge some of the damage from the combo that's going to be run by Team Spirit. Fishman already trying to play with the brain step. Look at how aggressive he's being and challenging Mira and saying, you're not going to get a chance just to be able to harass my Sven. I'm going to force your attention onto me as much as possible.
Yeah, and a very trivial thing, but when in the patch for 7.3 for Bane, he did get a little bit of a mana reduction on his brain sap and a increased cast range, which is it's very minor, but it's just small enough to allow him to be a bully. Like, Bane used to be one of the best heroes as 5 at punching and trading, but he kind of fell off when his spells got so expensive. So potentially that slight tweak might be enough to kind of bring him back into the laning phase at least.
Mira, no doubt regretting the missed arrow that he threw, as they could have brought Chrysalis pretty low there. But bottom lane matchup, also a hard lane for the safe lane carry, as he has been counterpicked. Terrorblade against Underlord. Not a fun time.
Yeah, not at all. And I think this is a nice change-up, because Creepwave, ATF being the young gun on the team, he's also the drafter, which traditionally before, in iterations of Creepwave, it was Fishman, who was maybe the more experienced player, taking Vega to, I believe, second in the TI qualifiers for TI 9. So it is interesting to see that they have put a lot of faith in the young guy to draft, and that's why he's getting himself, the last pick in the entire draft. But it is a very good Underlord game.
Our mid matchup, Toronto Tokyo Storm Spirits. He's a spirit specialist against Hancha, who this time is going to be taking the reins of the Void Spirit. See if he can put in a performance equal to Toronto Tokyo and what he did in Game 1.
Yeah, I think the big disparity in the lineup so far is simply they both kind of have the same idea of carry wants to farm lane into jungle, and they're under immense amount of pressure. Sven is going to potentially die to an SK Mirana, and then the TB will eventually get pushed out from the Underlord. And I'm looking towards the position 4s now and how efficient they are making stacks to unlock the carries to farm jungle, because both of them will love to do that, and it's like, how quickly can they get there?
Yeah, and whether or not there's going to be any stacks for the Storm Spirit, for example, because he does have a Coddle on his side, so he can clear through stacks pretty efficiently as well, which could give him the edge over the Void Spirit when it comes to that pushing in lane and farming neutrals game.
And that's where Creepwave, they are going to look to maybe, break down the map a little bit quicker, as Fishman might be going down here as he gets hit by the arrow. Yep.
Solid arrow landed by Mira.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the position 5 life going into double stuns. As soon as you poke your head out of the lane and kind of go into contest pools, you are going to die. So often supports here will just buy multiple sentries, so they don't even have to leave the lane because they know it's automatically going to be blocked. But of course, Mira brings his own sentry in, forces Bane to have to try and body block it and subsequently die.
All right, I got to ask, T-Gov, what do you think about the Ags on Underlord?
Again,
Beansgate.
the other day, I was talking to Zinderan, and I honestly like the old Ags. You know, I like the idea of having multiple rifts because there's some times where you could TP into a fight, kill a hero, TP across the entire map, and just be present. But I guess no one really bought it, so we didn't know if it was good or bad. But the new Ags, is it good? For the vision, I'll say yes. I think the fact that you're able to create a portal that lasts, I believe, like 20 seconds, right? And it can just be parked up in this a high ground area. It gives the vision, how do I describe it easier? The radius of probably Witch Doctor Hill. You know that kind of radius? That is the radius of what vision this gate gives. So you can't place it on like the hill spots, but placing it on like a tier 3 area or somewhere where you're trying to fight, like you're now scared of this gate. So I could see quirky plays, but it's very much like a heavy late game item. Like you're already stacked up and you're trying to go for those kind of EE level end game plays.
Yeah. It's I'm definitely a bit pessimistic about it, and I don't think we're gonna see a whole lot out of it until you get like one of those true Underlord specialists, you know, who just spams the hero a ton to finally show you like, okay, you can use it this way, and that makes it somewhat viable. But
it's 4,000 units. That's the thing. It's not as if you can from base like teleport yourself to like a tier 1 or something, or instantly contest a big fight. Like you're pretty much moving from the lane to like the entry of jungle type of thing. So yeah, it's got some quirkiness, but I could see some big plays being made with it, but you have to already be, you know, a big lad before you get there.
Fishman and Crystallis trying to go for the kill on to Collapse right now. He does have a ton of magic stick charges, so he should be fine. I feel like if anything, he could turn around and kill Fishman. But opts not to try for that play against the 2 levels of Brain Sap that Bane has.
And you see Baltimore. Oh, wow, okay. Bane does eventually go down top lane.
Looks like they caught up to him. Fishman just trying to be so aggressive in lane and draw so much attention. I feel like that's an underrated play by supports 5 positions. Whenever you have these kill combos, you want them to use it on you, not 100%, your carry.
Yeah. Like right now, Fishman dying twice, that has enabled, even though it's not a lot, it's 26 CS on Sven. If Sven had been dying here, he's probably going to be on maybe like 18, 19. Like that's how strong this lane is. So for sure, Fishman tanking up a couple of these big spells. Might even be able to get the... No, okay, nice from Mira.
Oh, they're turning around Burrow Strike at the last second. The blocked arrow is going to allow Fishman to live a little bit longer, and he's got 2 seconds for a brain zap, and he's going to go for it, but the roll on in from Toronto Tokyo, and they want the bigger kill, and that's going to be Crystallis. They'll still pick up Fishman in due time. Mira secures that one 4-1 for the first rotation coming out from the mid laners. Toronto Tokyo with a big one, and he's actually going to stay here with his empty bottle for the Sand King to refill. So even a bit of efficiency plays here.
Really nice rotation from the Storm, and that is simply a product of the fact that Creepwave, they're playing in a way that both side lanes are always pushing the lane in. You know, you got Underlord in the off lane, Sven in the safe lane, and it means Void Spirit can't connect in with a quick TP to a tower and fight. Like if there is going to be a fight in the side lanes, it's going to be closer to the Radiant side, and it also does help Storm had the rune to be able to move top as well. But just kind of the style of lane play that Creepwave has really kind of forces his hand where he's going to have to look towards just being more efficient in the jungle while Storm's getting kills.
Yeah. Anmar may be happy with his lane matchup against the Terrorblade, but it is always kind of nice when you have these heroes that can just go away to jungle, playing the Keeper of the Lights or the Winter Wyverns. It means Maposhiga, he's just going to hang out in this bottom lane, and Underlord, he's going to push the lane into him constantly, and it means you're going to have a fight position that's actually getting a lot of farm and levels.
Extremely farmed. And that is how Spirits support you. As we see Creepwave trying to smoke up. Only level 4 on Fishman.
Toro. Should be able to catch him with the Remnant. He does have Sunder. He levels it up. He was holding on to the skill point, and he keeps himself alive for now. They're going to Nightmare him up. Chew on his way. He's going to be able to land the Brambles, the follow-up. Oh, no. Just barely in range of the Cursed Crown. Unfortunately, the pushback It's there, and they may not be able to... Oh, that burst damage just too much. Fishman with the pure brain sap damage. Now, they're in pretty deep, though. Toronto Tokyo has a double damage, too. Hansha, he does not have the mana quite yet. Oh, he got it now. He's going to TP away right in front. He's going to dance in front of Toronto Tokyo as he lives. So does Fishman. Excellent play by Creepwave.
Yeah, nice synergy of the just knowing when to TP, because like if it was any different, maybe he can get another right click off. But yeah, I think Creepwave slightly kicking themselves that they didn't get the instant kill, but that is just Shotaro having the discipline of not leveling. I think as we see here. Oh, here it is. Okay, he tried to go for the sleep initially, didn't get it, then gets the second sleep, and of course, Nightmare does last quite a long time there. Unfortunately, Porsche not able to do anything. Pretty cool.
Just had to stand there and watch.
The best thing was Fishman also TPing as well, right? Like he's like, you know what, I've done a pretty good job. Oh wait, you have no stuns. Bye. Taking a look at the net worth, it's relatively even, but Yutaro is the farthest behind after that gank, and they're just going to search for him again. This time around, he is in the triangle, farming up the ancient stacks, so Creepwave is not going to find Yutaro. This is destroying.
Okay.
I was going to say, this is destroying Creepwave's game, though, because like, if you look at the net worth, like the only way Bane can play is from getting kills. Same thing with Willow. And they walk in and find Maposhka, but there is a clear disparity in how both teams are able to play the game.
Sleep Fishman takes the kill rather than Hansha. And that entire time, Yutaro farmed up an ancient stack, and Collapse is now pushing the tier 1 tower. Now, Fishman is going to try and hold this by himself, but it's not going to last for long. Burrow Strike into the arrow. With Yutaro showing up with his illusion, should be an easy tower get.
Yeah, we're seeing kind of like a repeat of the previous game where ATF has started with an incredible game where the Tidehunter, the Underlord, free farming, taking the towers we see on the off screen at the bottom. Like, it's now how does ATF enter the game? Is he going to do what he did in the previous game where he just kind of slowly moves over to the next objective that Spirit want to play into? Or is he going to continue playing in this area, maybe preventing Spirit from farming their own jungle? Because him alone plus maybe a Void Spirit TP or some Willow could be pretty deadly.
Yeah. And that is something that, if anything, Underlord has the bit of advantage over Tidehunter, as he farms a bit faster in neutrals. They do manage to get the arrow on out after Collapse's Blink Dagger reveal onto Hansha. So the Void Spirit continuing to have a bit of a rougher game, as you could see, last in net worth among the cores. And, well, excuse me, Sand King is core. Oh, never mind. There he goes.
I love what
I thought he lost net worth there for a second.
Yeah, he's good. I love how like Sand King as a hero before the patch, everyone's like does no damage with his ultimate. How weak. And then like the patch doesn't even change his ultimate, and everyone's like, oh my god, look how much damage it does. There was literally no change to it. It's just the fact that we're seeing it hit, like the Sand King have a better laning phase, which means like the blinks early enough to really come in and actually have some impact.
Yeah, yeah. ATF, there he is, pushing himself onto that mid lane, just kind of hanging out, putting pressure down. This time around, he may not be able to really chip away at the mid tower like he did last time, though, as Sand King is kind of equal in that regards of just being able to hold the tower for a long time.
Yeah, realistically, what could happen in this game is we just see Collapse and ATF just both AFK mid, but then farm the camps beside, whilst then all the cores then farming that kind of bubble behind. And Creepwave, they smoke up. Oh, the creep
actually trying to go for the kill combo. ATF all by himself here, and they are going to be able to kill him. At the same time, the smoke reveal on Creepwave is not going to be able to catch Yutaro. He was wise to it. He was playing a little safe while his team was making moves. Mira, they get the D ward, and they're going to be able to get Fishman as well to pull back into another arrow. Mira just having a free game when it comes to lining up arrows with both a Sand King and a Storm Spirit. Chu. Man, they're just going to pick up kill after kill here as Chu very likely to die here as well. 3 dead, and again, the smoke gank that came out from Creepwave did not catch their target. Yutaro continues to be able to farm up the triangle.
Yeah, and that is a product of Vision being Spirit's best friend there. Like, as they kill ATF in mid lane, Terrorblade's farming into the tri-camp, but in a position where he's able to, break open that smoke by himself. And now Collapse with the Blink Dagger, he's killing mid, he's coming to bottom, killing off the Sven. Spirit are really kind of turning up the pace of the game, whilst, Terrorblade, he's just been AFK in the triangle. He's had no real issues. He obviously read the map movements of Creepwave really well. And the game, it's been, I think they've used, of course we saw the change to smokes now that you can go up to a max cap of 3 rather than 2. They've used 3 already. They got a kill onto Terrorblade. After bringing 4 heroes, they killed a Keeper of the Light, and then they attempted to kill the Terrorblade. So Creepwave have used all their aggressive resources now, and they have to look back and try and just farm up themselves, because the way in which they're trying to break down the map with kills, it hasn't been successful, and that's where the 4K lead has come from on the side of Spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely feels like Team Spirit have made a slight adjustment from game 1 to game 2. Like game 1, they were reading each other really, really well. I felt like both the map movements of both of the teams were very on point. But this time around, as you said, the smokes just not really landing. Now they're out of those smokes, and Team Spirit has been more efficient when it comes to stacking up neutrals. So
I just saw
one more to go.
They got one more smoke. This is it for the boys. I think that's an Echo Saber soon complete, around about 800 gold away from Crystal. So it's not as if he's going to be joining the fight anytime soon.
We're going to need that faster blink dagger again in this game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I think Sven, this is a game where he goes, you know, Echo, BKB, Blink. You can see in his quick buy, that Blink is even before the BKB. Like he knows how important this item is on the hero.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now we actually get to see Spirit being a little bit proactive here, smoking up themselves. Now baiting maybe Yatara in the mid lane.
It's kind of interesting. I didn't expect ATF. This build from him. Collapse, missing out on the Burrow Strike. Still going for the epicenter, though. The arrow, oh, it slides on by. Managed to land on a Fishman with the Caustic Finale blowing up. Hansha will fall as well. Team Spirit continuing to just be, it seems like they can't be touched by Creepwave in this game, too. Like, those 3 kills, those are just natural, like, laning phase kills and stuff. But, like, once we've broken down the laning phase, Team Spirit seems to know every move that Creepwave's trying to make and has countered it.
Well, the main thing here is Creepwave's playing in kind of in the middle lane, right? This middle channel of the map. So every time there's a play, it's really easy for Spirit, if they're playing the side lanes, to connect in and to try and, you know, counter make that play.
They're going to go for Collapse here with the Rod of Atos holding him down for just long enough to pick a kill on the exits of Team Spirit. But they got what they came for. They got the tier 1 mid tower. Creepwave. They want to be able to respond in kind with the rest of this God Strength, but I'm not sure they can into a Coddle.
And Sand King.
Yeah, Fishman gets caught out by the Storm Spirit. They do manage to have the Curse Crown onto Mira, but if they want to be able to run down these heroes, they're going to have to go super deep.
Yeah, I think
it looks like, yeah.
It's impossible for Creepwave to push a tower. Like, they're playing into Keeper of the Light, the Sand King. If there's a Catapult Wave, Mirana's there. And if they ever really kind of poke their head out of position, that's when the Storm comes in. So Spirit, they are playing around this mid tower really well. And like I mentioned before the fight broke out, like Creepwave, every move they've made so far, it has been within a stone's throw of this mid tier 1 tower, which means it is very easy for Team Spirit, to bring at least 3 to 4 heroes. And then Creepwave, they are feeling the effect of having this Bane Willer support, because like they want to find kills, they want to do stuff, but Spirit, they're holding hands. You know, they don't need to be too creative with how they farm. And that is the benefit of having Terrorblade Sand King, right? Like, look at the meme map. Terrorblade pushing out top with illusions. The rest of the team plays together, which means Creep would have to either bring one hero top or take that fight awkwardly into the entirety of Spirit.
Oh, smoke breaking, but immediately collapsed, ignoring ATF and going for the kill onto Fishman instead. A fast blink secures the opening kill of the team fight. Team Spirit now trying to retreat a bit and play a longer team fight. After all, Toronto Tokyo can always zip back in if they see an opportunity. ATF, they're going to commit to him now. They don't have a way to get him down from this cliff area. The rest of Creepwave starts coming back, but the Terrorize is not enough to save him. Nukes coming in from Mira, secure the kill, a mega kill streak for the young forward position of Team Spirit.
Well, that was so unfortunate for ATF. Like, he was hugging the far right-hand side of that camp. Like, please don't see me. It's nighttime. Please don't. But there was a Radiant Ward, which completely removed that attempt of trying to use the nighttime vision. Poor guy.
Yep. And now, I mean, we were talking about how he was set up with such a great laning phase and such. He is nowhere close to the top 2 of Team Spirit. And, I mean, like Tidehunter as a core. Oh, nice pickup. Fishman may not last long enough here. Let's see. Running a little bit of interference. Dark Willow tries to throw the damage onto Miposhka instead. Not quite good enough. Collapse just proves to be too tanky, too high of a level. It's not like he actually has any real stat items. He's got Force Snap and Blink Dagger. It's just the fact that he's level 12.
And if you look at the minimap there, ATF, he's just scrambling on the map with like lines. I'm guessing he's asking why the team's doing it because, you know, minute 18 when the game's not going so great, Bane Willow trying to go for a kill. Spirit have basically been super good at predicting the moves right now. And they're trying to go for this like clutch kill onto a Sand King. And unfortunately it just didn't work out. They used their big spells as well. So I think ATF potentially getting a little bit, I guess, frustrated maybe with his own game because like he bought this Atos, right? And he's not being able to actually connect in like with the Atos, with the root, being able to find a kill.
I thought it's super interesting that ATF maxed out Atrophy Aura, but still went the Rod of Atos build. And I was like, huh, that's kind of weird because normally you want max Pit of Malice to make use of the Rod of Atos combo. You pit, Rod of Atos, the pit goes off again. It locks them down for like 6 seconds. But I didn't expect him to just totally not go for Dark Rift until level 13. So that is one way he still got maxed out Pit of Malice.
Yeah, I think in this type of game, I don't think he cares too much about the defensive mechanism of the ult because it's like if they're going to get jumped, they're going to get chain CC'd, right? And like in this type of draft right now, Underlord's the hero up front, so having your ultimate's kind of pointless because you're going to get burrowed into arrow no matter what. There isn't that innate save outside of maybe a nightmare. So I can see maybe why they do it, but yeah.
It's mostly pointless unless you're in a situation where you're trying to hide under a medium camp that's stuck in a corner and the enemy team has surrounded you, but not quite going on you, expecting you to Dark Rift out, and then at some point in time they're like, what if he just doesn't have Dark Rift?
How about we just kill him? Oh, crazy. 10k lead. Oof.
Pushing, and it's secured himself a tier 2 tower at the top lane. They're free to be able to take the outposts now, and Team Spirit are still holding on to their mid-tier 1 tower. I feel like that's always a good sign of a map being very well controlled and the game being very one-sided, is you're still holding your mid-tier 1 tower and you've taken the enemy's tier 2. It's like, it's double the bounty when it comes to map control.
And this is why, like, in theory, even in the previous patch, we didn't see much Sand King, but the idea of your offlaner who can AFK mid lane and can defend. And it's why, of course, like, Keeper Light right now is also very strong, because there are never lanes to play. Of course, Terrorblade doing, you know, all the work of his team, carrying his team. His hero damage is probably far inferior to that, but alas. But yeah, if we, there we go. Point in case, thank you very much. Look at, oh, that is beautiful. Toggle it again. Oh, one more time. No, now you're playing with me. Beautiful. But yeah, if we actually check in with the Terrorblade, like, this is a lad who's pretty much had to do nothing this entire game. He's 1-1-0. He's about to complete his Skadi at minute 20. And then he's going to join in this one decisive fight. And that might look to unlock Roshan. So Creepwave, they have to be prepared that this is going to be the time where Spirit are going to look to just win the game pretty much. Like, this is the fight which is, they crossed the river finally. Like, this has been 21 minutes of only Terrorblade actively looking to make plays. As you see here, positioned up in the top enemy jungle, sending illusions down, and then just AFK in the triangle. This is a carry's dream for Terrorblade.
Yatoro going to be caught by a Brambles as he looked to be able to finish up his Skadi. It's on its way, but it's a collapse. He's not going to be waiting, apparently. He sees the opening, does manage to kill Chu. Going to be caught in the Fiend's grip and given a save by Toronto Tokyo. Not quite good enough, though. Hancha still finished up the kill. Toronto Tokyo's got to be careful, though. Half mana and a BKB used. He is going to be able to escape, but it's time for a bit of a reset here for Team Spirit. They're going to go up to their high ground. Now they can hold here and still turn around and fight. They've got the Skadi now, and that's what Yotaro is exactly waiting for. And immediately Creepwave go up and back down. They see that Terrorblade and they say, no, thank you. We do not want to have that fight. Chu is certainly going to be dying. Hancha was slowed down as well by Miposhka's Solar Bind. They're going to catch up the Crystallis eventually here. Hidden away into the trees. Needs some help. Has a double damage hit. Oh no, the arrow comes in just in time. Mira buys a little bit of time, but eventually Toronto Tokyo does die. The damage, though, is there to be able to get the return kill onto Crystallis. Fishman getting run down by Yatoro, who's going to now be able to take a tier 1 tower. The Terrorblade is online.
He's entered the game, that's for sure. You know, if we go back to that whole hero damage and tower damage stat, I'm sure the hero damage is now slightly higher. Ooh, look at that. Slowly going to be joining his team in the double digit, or the 10,000 soon. But yeah, Yotaro, He realizes when he's strong enough. He tried to get the Skadi at the start of the fight, but of course, Creepwave's position. But I think the main takeaway from there is Storm Spirit. You know, the way in which he's able to cross-map, zip in, instantly, Orchid the Bane, which prolongs the fight long enough, and then Creepwave. They try and play on the fact that Storm has no mana and use BKB, but it's not really well enough. This is the secondary part of the fight where they just run up into the high ground. Crystallis, maybe if he was able to blink in and instantly connect onto some type of stun on Yotaro, they could have maybe laid some damage on top, but realistically, they need to be killing off the supports first. They need to be killing Storm Spirit. This is a raid boss of a Terror Blade. He's 16k net worth at 23 minutes. He can't be the one you're jumping right now. You need to kill off everyone else. So yeah, unfortunately for Creepwave, they weren't able to capitalize on the lack of true resources that maybe Storm Spirit was able to bring to the fight. As Chu dies
Didn't
once
actually
again.
complete the epicenter. He knows he doesn't need it. Just an arrow is all the follow-up he really needs.
I'm looking forward to when, lands come back and we get to hear the base of the spells, Like Earthshaker Slam, the Treant Overgrowth, you pump fake it. Sounds great. Same with Epicenter. I'm sure it's going to sound amazing in the arena.
Exactly. Just people love being able to spam the Epicenter over and over again. Nice jump in from Toronto Tokyo. Even though they lost Maposhka, they're going to be able to get 2 for it as Hansha gets pulled into his doom. Now ATF is going to look for the escape onto the Dark Rift. They force him away, but it's not quite good enough.
I could see it coming, but unfortunately they weren't able to get it.
Maybe a couple more force staffs and it could have been enough, but sadly they're able to group back up together. Not so sadly though for Team Spirit, they're able to just keep marching forward. You can retreat, but Terrorblade's great at being able to take objectives. He's going to find a tier 2 tower for himself and still use the rest of Metamorphosis to do Roshan.
I would like Storm and Cuddle to at least do 1 right click on the towers so that we get like a measly 1 right click per hero, and then Terrorblade does everything else for the team. This is what every carry player wants to be. I think that's actually this is what every carry player thinks they are when they play ranked, It's like, I'm literally doing all the work, but alas. This is really good from Spirit. The way in which they set up this game, and I think it's really easy to give Yotaro a lot of praise here for his Terrorblade, but it's collapsed. It's, the Mirana, Storm, Keeper Alive,
ultimately
they are doing
Yotaro
everything.
He didn't have to play much of a game, and he got to choose his timing of being involved.
That was so close.
Ooh, that would have been a big kill.
If he zipped a little bit more...
Every Terrorblade wants to just do nothing but farm until they have Skadi. And that's what he got to do. And that's because his team set him up.
And then he got the Daedalus as well. Like, this man's living his best life right now.
Yeah.
And the amount of
13,000. Shout out to Toronto Tokyo, still staying ahead in net worth above both ATF and Crystallis.
Yeah. And of course, Mira being 7, 0, and 15. This is the beauty of playing Murano with a lot of setups. You can play on the fringe of the fight. You're never really having to leap in for a Yules. And it's why he went for that Vessel build. And it has caused a lot of havoc against the Sven with the Blink without the BKB, this Dark Willow. Like, every single fight is starting with Murano hitting a clutch arrow, vesseling one of these heroes to, minimize their ability to move into the fight. And yeah, so again, the entirety of Team Spirit just playing a really beautiful game as they now poke their heads up into the high ground at the 26-minute mark. ATF with the very defensive usage of his ultimate.
Hey, do you know if Coddle's shard?
Yeah, recall. Yep.
Yeah. Never mind. I forgot it was recall. I thought it was still the heal thing.
No. So his heal was just like tied in with Spirit Form. So night or day you just get healed up by Illuminate, and his shard is just simple. Come here, mate. Come fight. That's of course why Storm Spirit potentially might even look to get a Boots of Travel at some point, or just utilize TP because the Keeper Light can bring him around the place.
Do a zip in, zip out, like kill support, zip out. If you're out of mana, TP back, and then Cuddle can just pull you back in. And once again, it's Creepwave scrounging around in the corners here. Fishman has set up for a gank. Unfortunately, the arrow's going to wind up. They do manage to get the kill onto the Aegis, but now Crystals has got to get out of here. He's got to leave Fishman behind. The BKB is going to last long enough for him to get a TP out. So a very, very cute gank there being set up by Creepwave. But ultimately, it just seems like Team Spirit's a little bit too strong. The pushback this time around. Toronto Tokyo is able to get away from that last hit, but he doesn't have a ton of mana. Unfortunately, Maposhka is
Terrorblade's here now.
He's going to bring in Toro, and now Christus has met the big bad final boss of the game. That was just a sub-boss in the Storm Spirit that you ripped apart. It's your Toro you got to worry about, and Crystallis was no match for that kind of damage, and neither is Hansha, and neither is this tier 3 tower that Yotaro just going to give a little top off just to make sure he's good to start tanking the tier 3 and go for a full-out aggressive push.
I also, in fairness, that was a very cool idea from Creepwave. You know, you utilize that amulet, you AFK top, and then you try and kill whoever jumps to Sven. They get that, but then of course, keep it like Shell, we just mentioned it. You bring in the Storm, he nearly dies. Could have been completely different. Bring in Terrorblade, that's it. He doesn't have buyback on Sven. ATF now having to throw his body in the hope to prolong this push. Most likely gonna have the buyback as well.
If they can get Collapse, they might be able to slow things down a little bit here. Collapse, Force Staff, and a Burrow Strike out. Clean getaway here from Team Spirit with Elena Barracks down. They're going to reset pretty nicely as we look back at that cute little play. All of a sudden, Chrysalis rounds the corner, and there's a 8-foot-tall demon man standing in front of him.
It just appears out of nowhere. But in fact, I'm a little bit upset for Chrysalis. Like he should have been able to kill Toronto Tokyo there, but isn't able to. And then you see Claps, he's like, oh, look, all my Terrorblade, he's all grown up. He's doing all the work for me now.
All grown up, level 20, Daedalus, soon going to have a Satanic. They haven't even come close to killing him in quite some time. And so the Satanic is just going to make that nigh impossible, it would seem.
Yeah, this is...
the problem with Sven Terrorblade, look at his armor. 42 armor right now.
Yeah, he doesn't really care. Like that, the idea of this matchup of Terrorblade Sven, like Terrorblade is so good against Sven because they both have the same kind of farm efficiency, but Terrorblade's always able to push in multiple lanes. As Chrysalis should be able to kill off Mira for the first time in this game, getting a BZZ amount of gold, and then smoking up straight away after. Okay, maybe if they get a couple kills here, but again, this is like the previous game, right? It's like things start connecting in regards to getting pickoffs once Spirit are in such a comfortable position that they start throwing away some of these, cheaper kills.
I love plays like this. Toronto Tokyo just got to be able to find the free pickup and use the BKB, and they can't actually get out. They're going to pull in Utoro, though. He's going to be here soon. Chu, not quite dodges the blast. Maposhka finishes him off. Still, though, at the same time, Collapse is going to be left behind, and Maposhka actually not bringing in Utoro. I thought for sure that was the idea behind that play, but no, they thought they were just going to get a free support. They bring the Storm Spirit back into play here. ATF is going to try and get both him and Fishman out, but Fishman is a little bit too squishy for that.
They did get the D-Ward, though. They did get the D-Ward.
They did.
That's a big kill. That's basically a kill in Creepwave's eyes right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't sell you. That's fine. No worries. I was just trying to pitch the idea to you, trying to find something.
It's a kill if Team Spirit had a 6th hero that was like a level 5 Crystal Maiden. Yeah.
Oh, look at Mira though on that building damage. He's trying to sneak up on the Terrorblade, now doubling it with 159.
If he single-handedly took down the rest of the buildings in the game, do you think he would actually catch up to Utoro?
No, this is long gone. Terrorblade's done a great deed.
Long-range arrow clips the Dark Willow. Chu unable to get out of the way in time. Hanja gets ripped apart by the Terrorblade. The 2 supports are also going to die to Toronto Tokyo. He's gone around the world several times thanks to the help of Maposhka, but he's landed here in the Dire base, ready to claim game 2, and Creepwave are going to give it to him. 2-0 to the favor of Team